Hi guys, we are doing an interview with Ola Brew, which is a really, really interesting company making spirits from locally grown agriculture in Hawaii, which is amazing. This product won big at our competition, and it came in a plastic jug with no label on it, just a plastic jug, which was really interesting for us. We sometimes get stuff that's in the process of being workshopped or um, needs tasting notes, other stuff like that. And Ola Brew, I see you're on there, Ola Brew, but you're not in the room. Anyways, this came in a plastic jug with clear liquid in it, and it said it was FDA approved, which was great, but we had no idea what was in it. Anyways, it's a very cool story and a very cool company, and ask them to come in again, and I can't wait for you to hear all about it. They are based in Hawaii. Hello.
Hey, you guys.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. I was just saying that your product was the most interesting packaged that we had received.
Bye.
I actually put it on Instagram as we get amazing packages that have been spent years designing the bottle, and sometimes we just get a plastic jug with a blue tape on it.
That was Constantine's writing, right?
That's
right
minimalism is what that is called, yes.
Well, I would have to say that was one of the most surprising liquids that that our judges tasted. We were all kind of wondering what will happen with this plastic jug, and it just kept on going from another level to another level to another level, and then it finally made our finalist round for sweeps, which means that all the judges get together and they vote on it for other white spirit, and it got beat out by one other spirit, but it made it all the way to the end. So congratulations.
Thanks.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Okay, now tell me a little bit about the company, where you guys are based in Hawaii, what the juice is actually made out of, what's the process of making it.
Yeah, so we're based in Kailua Kona on the Big Island. And the whole premise of our whole organization is to support and grow our local agricultural economy here in Hawaii. And so any avenue that we can take with beverages that we're making to increase growth in this agricultural economy, have people grow more endemic plants and canoe plants, as well as what's already being grown here. That's what we're doing. So we started out with beers and ciders using B-grade fruits. And then we went into seltzers, hard teas, and now we're doing spirits, and this is headed by these two. So I'll let them take it.
Well, so if you're not familiar with the tea leaf, it grows everywhere in Hawaii. It's a very significant plant. It's used for a lot of purposes, but it hasn't really been used for making spirits in a while. There's a couple commercial brands that make it, but as far as there's no one making 100% tea root based product. And the tea plant, it is a cousin of agave, and it has a sugar content of about 20% by weight in the root. It's a starch, so you have to cook it, you have to convert into a sugar. Constantine can talk more about that. But on the agricultural side, the vast amount of the tea we need is similar to having a vineyard. And if you could imagine if there's just some wild grapes growing around, that's kind of how we're making it right now. It's similar. It's like we're finding like tea here and there that we can dig up, and they're different ages. They're 5 years old, 50 years old, and 20 years old, and different sizes. Sometimes the roots are 100 pounds. Sometimes the roots are 5 pounds. And so I'm working more on the agricultural development side of it. Constantine's solely on the product development. He's the distiller, and I'm working on figuring out what cultivars grow the best, not just based on sugar content, but also on flavor. We have access to 800 varieties right now that are all labeled in one nursery. And so we're digging up a single root, putting it through the whole fermentation process, distillation process, and then the ones that are good, tissue culturing so that we can mass propagate. And we just got 50-acre piece of land that we're starting to plant out right now.
Wow.
We have long-term plans to do thousands of acres, depending on if the market wants it or not. And so this was a really exciting competition for us because this is the first time we let anyone try it, really, besides the two of us. And for 2 years, we've been tweaking it, and we're like, I kind of twisted his arm. I was like, we got to see what other people think about it eventually before, because I'm like,
what a great experiment. I think that you guys are the first producers of a tea root-based spirit that has ever entered. We've gotten lots of different things. We've gotten avocado-based spirits. We've gotten everything from all over the world. And this was an experiment gone really right. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. And, just for like a little history, it is an indigenous spirit of Hawaii. So we're making it as like a 2 to 4% alcoholic beverage, pretty much in an emu. It's an underground oven. Again, similar to making tequila. They would put the root in there. They would convert the starches. People would eat it, sometimes soak it in water, drink it. And then the story in Hawaii is that some of the original white sailors that showed up noticed hey, you guys can make that concentrated and make something closer. It has been around for a long time. It just hasn't really been commercially made with 100% tea root in a long time.
How it was traditionally made. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And there's so much folklore surrounding it, and a lot of them are just stories of practicality, not of distinctiveness. And so from the onset, I think our goal was to make something that is distinctive, just like the eau de vie we entered. What is the essence of tea root? We don't really know. There's a lot of relatively bland trials that are out there. We just talked to a friend yesterday who tried it with somebody else and basically said, yeah, it tastes like moonshine, and that is not the point. So if there's real character there, we endeavor to find it.
Very cool. And so the process is that, do you still use the traditional process of cooking it underground?
There's many different aspects to it, and a lot of them contribute to the flavor. So each spirit will be a mix of those, but that is obviously the traditional part of it, yes.
Yeah, so we will do that, but it's a blend because it will get a little too earthy, a little too. That's where he comes in. He likes to blend, make 8 different ones and blend them back together to make a final product. And that's where we've been experimenting a lot with. It's different different types of yeast for fermentation. Obviously, different ways of making cuts and blending back. But yeah, that's still in the experimental process. But we do hope to have multiple underground ovens, emus, that we cook a lot of the kola in.
I would love to see a picture of what that looks like if you want to send it to us, and I can put it on our website. Yeah. That sounds very, very cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, have you ever heard of a luau where they cook the big pig underground? So that oven is actually an emu. So that literally, when they were cooking the pig, they would put some roots on the side, and I've heard stories. Go dig up a couple roots on the side, so it's like a little candy treat that they get when they open up the emu. So.
Very cool. Very cool. And so when do you guys plan to bring this to market, and do you have plans for distribution in the mainland?
Yeah, so we have plans to bring it to market here in Hawaii, just in our tap rooms, a couple local bars, in about 4 months. But again, the agricultural component is the biggest hurdle, and so I was just on the farm yesterday. I'm working. We're planting as fast as we can, but the crop takes 18 to 24 months. That's the fastest we can do it. You can also let it go 5 years and get a different flavor. So I'd say commercially available in about 2 years.
Great. Well, keep on entering so that we can see the different iterations. We were very impressed, very surprised, and very interested.
Yeah, we're going to be doing, we're definitely going to be aging on some local indigenous Hawaiian woods. Cool. We've been experimenting with that, and there's there's a couple varieties that pretty amazing qualities, and I think next year we'll be entering other white spirits, but also some wood aged spirits. And,
wow, amazing.
I hope it plays well.
So I ask 3 questions usually at the end of the interview, and there's 3 of you, so you all get to answer. Okay, what is your favorite cocktail? Yesterday was World Cocktail Day. What would be a great cocktail with your spirit?
With ours specifically.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about yours specifically just because I don't know what would be. I mean, it's really tropical and lovely and could pair well with so many different things. I wanted to get what your suggestion would be.
So you're still talking about the Akoleao, not the Starfruit brandy, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, with any new product like that, I would say something that highlights the flavor first, and we're mostly sipping it straight, the tiny quantities we have, but you would start with a highball, which technically isn't a cocktail, I guess, and then take it from there. I could see it working in some of the brandy-based cocktails. I would really be interested to see what a Boulevardier would be like with a Akoleao in it, but we aren't even at that point yet, so it's conjecture.
Well, great room to experiment.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, and then what is a great song that you guys like to listen to while either distilling Akoleao or drinking it?
That is completely personal preference, right? So
we have different music tastes, all 3 of us.
There's lots of great local options that I'll let you think about. Traditionally, if you're on the very small end of distilling, there's a song called Copperhead Road that talks about moonshining, which maybe just to start the still, but I'd personally be the person who listens to Beethoven's Ninth in the unauthorized recording of Sergiu Celibidache with the Munich Philharmonic.
Amazing.
And that would get you through maybe 1/3 of the still run. Or if you have, a nice dram of it, it may last you that and take you on a roller coaster ride.
Very cool. What about you guys?
The first one that comes to mind for me, if we're talking about Hawaiian music, is Israel Kamakawiwa Ole. He has a song called Hawaii 78, and it talks about basically how, the land has been developed here. And what we try to do with Ola Brew is bring it back to the Aina. The Hawaiian culture is very tied to the Aina, or the land, right? And so what we are trying to do is regenerate and plant as much organic crops as we can, or help facilitate to plant as many local crops and organic crops that are endemic to Hawaii. So, yeah.
Amazing.
I was actually going to say the same song, but it's a modern version. So the same song has been remade. A local band called Sudden Rush.
Oh yeah.
And that's
very cool. Okay, then last question is, what would be a great meal to pair with Akoleao?
I would say just dreaming, because we haven't done it yet. But like Brett was saying, when they were traditionally Akoleao, the tea root would go in with the imu. And so in that imu were lau lau, another traditional fare in Hawaii, poi, which is pounded tea root, or pounded kalo or taro, kalua pig, fish, things like that are really, that would all go in the imu as well. And then you take everything out. Obviously, the Akoleao would have been in an imu a long time ago, so we could distill it.
Yeah, I was going to say lau lau. And that is, something we do plan on doing as we get to more of a commercial level.
Mm-hmm. What is lau lau? Can you tell us what that is? Is that just the whole?
Yeah, so lau lau is it's the taro leaf. So you get the taro leaf, and then you put some pork, some fat, and a little piece of fish inside, and you'll wrap it all up, and then that whole is actually wrapped in a tea leaf, right? So the tea root for Akoleao, and it's wrapped in the tea leaf, and then it's put into the imu and roasted and steamed for hours. So really, really falls apart. You know, it's delicious, super flavorful.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually we'll have some farm tours. You guys can come out and check out.
I would love to come and check it out.
Yeah, you can come do a tasting. Our nice 50-acre parcel that we're planting now is it's oceanfront, so it's
overlooking.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll have a good tasting out here, and we'll cook you some. Yeah.
And is it open to the public?
Yeah, it will be.
It will be.
It will be. Yeah, in about 2 years. So I'll be open to the public 2 years.
You guys got to have a lot of interesting and exciting things happening.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and congratulations on your amazing win. And I can't wait to see what happens next with Ola Brew.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.